In 1981, the Zonta Club of Manila Foundation received a donation of milk biscuits from a sister club, the Zonta Club of Manawatu, New Zealand, for distribution where they were most needed. Tondo was selected in being among the poorest districts in Manila. Unemployment, underemployment, lack of water and electricity, poor housing, hygiene and sanitation were major problems in the community. Among the many development projects then in effect in Tondo was one coordinated and supervised by two retired Jesuit priests, Fathers Leo Culum and Pedro Verceles. The priests sought donations in cash or in kind from Ateneo alumni and friends here and abroad to help support several projects, one of which was feeding of malnourished children in two barrios in Tondo. A full-time nutritionist took charge of the feeding project. It was to this group that Zonta channeled the New Zealand milk biscuits, which the children took with gusto as reconstituted milk. Briefly, the feeding program originally consisted of providing malnourished children 6 to 74 months with an early lunch and an afternoon snack 5 days a week, Mondays through Fridays, during a 14-week cycle. In 1982, the site of the feeding program was a one-car garage which could accommodate no more than 50 children at a time. Due to demolition of shanties and fast development of taking place in Tondo, the site of the feeding program had to be transferred about 5 times within a span of 10 years. Finally, after much persistence in the follow-up of papers, representations, and several fundraising activities, the Zonta Club of Manila Foundation Incorporated was able to acquire a lot in Tondo suitably located for the program. A functional 2-story building was constructed for its various projects, principally for the feeding program and the Impok Piso project. From April 26, 1982 to December 31, 1996, the number of children fed, including a few pregnant and lactating mothers, numbered 3,566. The funding for the feeding program comes from voluntary contributions from club members. Donations from friends, relatives, associates, foundations, and other clubs were solicited in cash or in kind, but there was a limit to these resources. To augment funds for the feeding program, fundraising activities were held by the Zonta Club of Manila Foundation at least once a year. Many more hungry mouths are waiting to be fed by Tondo's malnourished children 4 years old and below, but the Zonta Club of Manila Foundation's resources could not cope up with their need. Due to financial constraints, what started out as the nutrition and feeding program of the club in the 1980s evolved into what is now the Tondo Kiddie class. The Tondo Kiddie class teaches aged 4 to 6 years the basic arts of reading, writing, and arithmetic, and utilizes various teaching strategies designed to hold the interests of the children, ranging from storytelling, games, demonstrations, coloring, and drawing with Crayola and colored pencils. The Kiddie class started with 27 preschoolers in 2001. From one class in 2001, the program reached 3 classes, 2 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon, right before the pandemic. Classes resumed in August of 2022 with 2 classes, 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. One of the more endearing activities the club gets to participate in is the observance of United Nations Day by the pupils in October of each year. The children get to learn about the United Nations organization and about peoples in other places in the world. The observance is capped with the children parading in their national costumes of different countries. It is not unusual to see a little girl dressed as a Spanish lady, or you are complete with mantillas, or little boys dressed in Uncle Sam, a Swiss yodeler, or the occasional pasha. The Zonchans act as judges for best and original costume. Another activity which the Zonchans participate in is the annual Christmas party. The parents, teacher Luis Ignacio, and students perform song and dance routines for the Zonchans. The Zonchans in advance prepare bags of dry goods, rice, and treats, which the children take home with them at the end of the party. Grace Basilio's song of the Zonta Club of Manila Foundation Incorporated. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day.